Welcome back to Simply Sadie. If this is your first time joining me, thank you and welcome. If you've been here before, thank you as well. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe. And then also, if you enjoy my videos and you want to be notified every single time I post, make sure you turn on the notification bell and then go ahead and give these videos a big thumbs up. So if you haven't subscribed to our family channel and you want to keep up to date with what's going on with us, my pregnancy, my family, and all the exciting things going on over there, make sure you subscribe to that channel as well. As you guys can tell by the title, I am doing my top 10 baby names that I love but probably won't be using this time around. So I am currently 36 weeks pregnant and I don't have a name for this baby yet. And the only reason I don't have a name is because I picked first baby's name Mackenzie, which I've always loved that name, but this time around I decided to let my husband pick, and I think he thinks it's a trick because every time I'm like, okay, what's baby's name, have you decided yet? He's like, I know you're just gonna pick, you know, you're probably not gonna like what I pick, you know, the yada yada yada, the back and forth. But I'm really like, no, pick the name. But there have been a couple names, let's be honest, that I'm like, I don't think I like that one. But overall, I'm letting him pick. I don't think he really realizes, like, okay, I only have a couple weeks left, so we do need to decide on a name. So let's get into this video. So these are my top 10 baby names that I love but won't be using, and they aren't in any particular order, and some of them I don't even know how I would actually spell them, but these are just names that I've heard over the years and that maybe other people have had and that I've just loved. So I'm using my cell phone today because I have my names in my cell phone, so bear with me. The first name is Meadow. This name actually came from a friend of a friend's child, and I've always loved that name for some reason, and I've known her for about 5 or 6 years now. And as I was looking for names, because my name is Mercedes and I've always looked for names that were like M names, and that name was just so unique to me, and I love the spelling that she used, so I think that would probably be the spelling that I would use as well. Meadow, it's just a pretty name. I feel like it just rolls off the tongue easily, and it's just beautiful. It just feels earthy and I just love it. Second name would be Callie. And I also know a little girl named Callie, and we're from California, so it only makes sense. And it's just a beautiful name. It's just a really beautiful name. Callie. It's very simple, straight to the point. Callie. So the third name on my list is Ryan, and I like the name Ryan because I feel like it can go both ways. It can be a girl name or a boy name, and I've always loved like the unisex names, so that was one of my names that I've always had like at the back of my mind, but I was like, oh, I don't know if I would ever name my child that, but I've always liked that name for a girl. And I've heard people say Ryan or Ryan, but I love that name. Next is Autumn. So I do know Autumn. I don't know her personally, but it is my friend's sister, and Autumn is just a beautiful name. It's just a beautiful name. And then of course my husband's name is Andre, so we always look for names that start with the same letter as our names. Next on my list is the name Kennedy. Kennedy is another one of those names that I think is a unisex name, and because it's one of those names that I think is unisex and there is like a spelling that you always see, I feel like I would change the spelling up on that one. I don't know exactly how I would spell it, but Kennedy is one of those names that I think I would kind of change that ending there a little bit. But I really do love the name Kennedy, and that might be a name that I may use in the future, so stay tuned for that third baby. Next is the name Dakota, and again with that name there's that unisex thing going on there because there's an actress named Dakota that's a girl, and then there's the football player Dakota that's a boy, and I feel like it just works, and I love the name. It's just beautiful. But with Dakota, I don't have this on my list, but I've also loved the name Dallas for a girl, so I'm gonna put Dakota and Dallas together, even though it's not on this top 10 list. Let's just do a little slash and add Dallas in there. And Dallas, I don't know how I would spell that either, but I love Dakota and I love Dallas. And then there's Brooke. I don't know any Brooks. I've never met any Brooks, but I love that name Brooke, and Brooke would be one of my kids' names. Then there's Taylor. I think I have a lot of unisex names on my list just because I want to have that option to be able to use the names that I love with whether it's a girl or a boy. So Taylor is one of those names that is also unisex, right? And it can go either way. I also have Sky/Skylar on my list, but if I had to choose between the two, I would choose Skylar. Skylar is just, I love it. Like, I love all the names on my list, don't get me wrong, I love all the names on my list, but Skylar is one of the names that's just like, I just love it. And then last but not least is Cameron. Cameron again is another unisex name that I love. And then also with that name, I think I would change up the spelling for that name just to feminize it a little bit and give it a little bit more character for a female. But I do love the name Cameron. Alright guys, thank you for bearing with me. That concludes my top 10 baby names that I love but probably won't be using this time around. I hope they gave you some ideas for girl names, boy names, unisex names. I really hope you guys were able to find some names that will help you in deciding your baby's name. Again, if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe, and then also turn on those notifications so you're notified every single time I post. And then if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. I am at the very end of my pregnancy, so I'm trying to get these videos out as quickly as possible, the ones pertaining to my pregnancy. And then I think I mentioned that I wanted to do a nursery tour, but I'll probably do it after the baby is born, whereas I'm not completely finished or satisfied with how it is right now, but I do want to do my nursery tour. And right now I'm actually in Mackenzie's nursery, so if you guys haven't seen that video, go ahead and check that video out as well. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.